Hey, is there a better combo than barbecue and whiskey? BBQ and Barrels is back at Nationals Park on September 19th. This is the third annual celebration. It features unlimited pours from over 100 premium bottles: Buffalo Trace, Jack Daniels, Bardstown Bourbon, Catoctin Creek, and so much more. Enjoy delicious barbecue from local favorites, groove to live music, and bring home some great whiskey. BBQ and Barrels, September 19th at Nationals Park, where great whiskey meets incredible barbecue. Tickets are going quickly and are available at nats.com/bbqbarrels.
Join Move for Meals, a month-long fitness and fundraising challenge supporting food and friends. This October, you can walk, run, or bike wherever you are to help neighbors living with serious illnesses. Every $10 you raise provides one medically tailored meal delivered right to someone's home. With weekly wellness themes and fun challenges, Move for Meals is a chance to meet your fitness goals while fueling compassion in our community. Sign up today and make every step count at p2p.onecause.com/moveformeals or visit foodandfriends.org.
Today on CityCast DC, what's the best burger in DC? I don't know. I haven't tasted them all. But the food team at Washingtonian came damn close to doing just that. And Jessica Sidman is here to give us some highlights from their list of DC's best. And after the interview, we've got a sponsored interview with District Bridges about Art All Night, which starts tomorrow, September 12th. It's a great way to connect DC's wonderful art community in DC. So stay tuned. Today is Thursday, September 11th. I'm Michael Schaefer, and here's what DC's talking about. Hey, Jessica Sidman.
Hey, Mike Schaefer.
I'm so glad to see you. It's been a while.
I know. Thanks for having me on.
And it's fun at this particular moment in history to get to talk about burgers rather than a lot of the things that people in DC have been talking about lately.
Yes, we all need some comfort food right now.
All right, so tell me about you. Like, when you think of a good burger, what immediately comes to mind? What's your perfect burger in the perfect world?
I, in general, am not someone who's like default is like, let me go out and get a burger. But when I am craving a burger, usually I'm going to get in so much trouble for this because we have a list of 30 great burgers. But I would say one of my favorite, like, just everyday burgers is Shake Shack.
There's no shame in that game.
Yeah, I love a good smash burger too. I think generally that's more my thing, but there's a lot of good, thick, juicy burgers out there too.
And we've had over the years of my burger consumption, things go with trends. And for a while, it was like, let's just brag about how thick and big and steak-like our burger is. And then we've sort of shifted to no, we smash it onto the griddle and we char the crap out of it. And it's going to be amazing. Where are we right now in that cycle in DC based on these 30 places that you picked out?
I still feel like we're in that smash burger phase, but maybe a little bit coming out of it. Like, I think it's peaked, but we're not. We're still in that phase. There's a lot of economic reasons why you might want to do a smash burger. You know, like you don't have to worry about like how it's cooked if it's medium rare and all that. It's easier for just anyone to prepare it. And I think in these economic times, we're going to see more thin patties than thick, juicy ones.
That's it. When I run for president, I'm going to say we'll be back to thick, juicy patties when you elect me.
Bring back the steakhouse burger, yeah.
All right, so I just want to level set because we're going to get into this list of 30, but what does you personally, and I know you put aside your personal preferences when you make lists, but is there anything that you personally think does not belong on a burger?
I will eat pretty much anything on a burger.
Well, I would hope so. You're a food critic.
I would say like things that don't belong on a burger. It pisses me off when you get those tomatoes that are so unripe and have zero flavor and you just take it out, or like the wilty lettuce. I don't need any of that. You know, so also too much onion. Like you gotta like temper the onion a little bit. Like you don't want to just take a giant bite and have onion breath all day long, right? I do like some onion, but like do it thin, really, really thin.
You're critiquing the quality of the stuff, but you don't have any, like, if somebody puts like kimchi or some new ingredient that has never been traditionally used in the burger eating world, you don't have anything that's instantly off limits to you.
I can't think of anything offhand. Give me some pineapple on that burger. Why not? I saw a recipe the other day with watermelon on the burger. Sure, I'll try it. Yeah, I think it has more to do with the execution. I think a burger is one of those foods where you can actually put literally anything on it. It's all about the balance, right? So as long as you balance out the flavors, beef goes with pretty much anything.
All right, so you've got this list of 30 burgers, and it spans the gamut from very traditional burgers to rather unusual ones. Of the 30, what's the best, or what are some of the best sort of quote unquote traditional burgers you got on there?
Well, I'll tell you my favorite burger that I personally ate, and there are three of us who worked on this project together, from a place called Melt Gourmet cheeseburger in Leesburg. So it's a little bit of a trek if you're in DC. But this place is just amazing. I would say the burger I had there was one of the best things I've eaten all year.
So what was amazing about it?
First of all, they make their own buns, which are really good. They're like fluffy, but they still are, have the structural integrity. They're not going to fall apart. A thicker patty, really juicy. And then they have a ton of burgers on the menu. The one that I loved that I didn't think I was going to love was their Paris burger. And it has these thick slabs of kind of a slightly funky brie cheese on there. They do this confit garlic. Actually, they put that on a number of their burgers, and it just adds this lovely umami note, some sharp mustard, balsamic onions. And at the end of the day, I think what makes a great burger is the same as what makes any great dish. It's just that balance of flavors and textures, and it's greater than the sum of its parts. And that for me was one of them.
But brie seems awesome to me, but it seems atypical of burgers as most people have been introduced to them. Is there anyone who excels particularly at stuff that would be recognizable in the burger eating world 15 or 20 or 50 years ago?
I mean, they have all kinds of burgers there. Like, they're not all weird ones. You can get just a normal cheeseburger, and it's also really, really good. I would say another favorite, more on the smash burger side of things. Actually, I'll mention two. One is a place called John's Joint in Arlington, and it's super no frills. They get the edges of the patties nice and crisp, but like just a basic burger that looks like a lot, but you can literally just eat it in several bites, and you just inhale it. It's so good. Another one is the smash burger at Joya in Mount Pleasant, and now they have a location in Glover Park. And smash burgers, they don't necessarily always care as much about the quality of the beef, but there they do use an American Wagyu. And the fun thing about the toppings there is they chop up all the pickles, onion, lettuce, tomato in a special sauce. So it's all combined and put it on top. So every bite, you're getting all of those toppings together, and it's just a really solid burger, super affordable, and they have a really fun purple ube ice cream soft serve for dessert. So don't miss that.
Speaking of super affordable, how do you define super affordable? Like, what's the price range we're looking at for excellent burgers in DC from low to high?
Joya Burger, you can get a single patty for $9. Mm-hmm. Anything around the $10 mark, I think, is pretty good for a not fast food burger.
Right.
Or maybe even fast food in this day and age. I'm not sure what a McDonald's burger costs these days. So it's $9 for single patty there, $17 for double, $24 for triples. There are burgers that are getting up there in the $20, $30 range at some higher end restaurants.
Yeah, you had some higher end places on your list, like Pastis, Capital Burger of Capital Grill. What's the priciest thing you had on the list?
And I know like on the higher end of things, Anne really loved the burger at Aventino, which is actually an Italian restaurant in Bethesda. You wouldn't expect that to necessarily be a burger destination, but they use this premium Randall lineback beef, and they have these red onions that are cooked down in balsamic. And she said there's a fontina cheese, which they baste with butter. And I mean, there's also, the trend, which I feel like you don't see quite as much lately, where people would go so gratuitous with the burgers and let's add on a chunk of foie gras and some truffles. And we don't need that. That's not what makes a decadent burger, in my opinion. I think it's really just letting the beef speak for itself. Maybe a really nice cheese, although American honestly is maybe the best cheese for a burger. That would be my hot take.
CityCast DC is made possible by the Peabody Institute of the Johns Hopkins University, presenting the Peabody Performance Series, a full season of free concerts at the Johns Hopkins University Bloomberg Center located at 555 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. The Peabody Performance Series brings one of the nation's leading conservatories to the heart of D.C. with concerts and programs spanning jazz, classical, chamber music, opera, and dance. Highlights this season include the Graduate Jazz Ensemble on October 31st, and in January, the Nexus Grant, featuring 2 masterclasses and a reception with internationally renowned conductor Marin Alsop and the National Philharmonic. While all events are free, tickets are required for entry. Explore the full performance schedule, find out more details, and reserve your tickets early at washingtondc.jhu.edu.
Experience the glamour of old Hollywood at the Library of Congress on September 18th, when they'll host the 75th anniversary screening of Oscar-winning classic All About Eve, starring Bette Davis and Marilyn Monroe. The evening includes a special introduction to the film by library film preservation experts, as well as a curated display of library treasures, music, dancing, photo ops, and themed cocktails. Reserve free tickets to All About Eve at loc.gov/live.
Let's go to the other end of the spectrum from the traditional burgers. What are some things on the list that have crazy toppings, cool ingredients, unusual stuff that people might not have tasted before?
So we did put a shrimp burger on the list. It's a shrimp katsu burger from Perry's in Adams Morgan, which maybe normally you'd think of for sushi. They have a great Japanese comfort food menu. And this one, it's just got this like super crisp kind of panko coated exterior, and then the chopped up shrimp inside. And they pair that with this lemony slaw, cheddar, and togarashi spiced tar sauce. Oh, and egg salad. I forgot there's egg salad on there too. So it's got a lot going on, and you just have to trust me that it works. Just go try it and you'll understand.
Others?
We didn't go necessarily too crazy on our list, but I will say, in addition to our list of the 30 best burgers, we also rounded up some burger-inspired dishes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you could get basically like a burger pizza at Boogie and Peel. It's called Harambe Loved Big Macs. And it's inspired by a Big Mac, and it's a pizza, but it has American cheese and ground beef and shredded iceberg lettuce, white onions, pickles. And this wasn't on the list, but literally I had it last night. There's a new all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant on H Street called Sushi Sato, and they have an In-N-Out roll. So it's a sushi roll with beef in it, and then the kind of In-N-Out sauce on top and the pickles, and it strangely does taste like a burger. So we're seeing a lot of, burger tacos, burger mac and cheese, burger tater tots, all of that is in.
The tuna burger from Michel Richard.
Yes. So at Central, from the late great Michel Richard, there is an excellent tuna burger, which has pretty much been on the menu since the place opened in 2007. And you have the rare chopped tuna, which is layered on a glossy bun with a crunchy potato wafer and confit tomato, gingery mayo. And I know that was another favorite of our team.
Are there any places with vegan or vegetarian burgers that are either on your list or on your mind, just for those who might not partake?
Yeah, I don't think it made our list, but they're a really excellent one that I love at Ellie in Mount Pleasant. And it's a smoked tempeh burger. And it has cheddar cheese and Dijonnaise mustard, pickles, tomato, all that stuff. But it doesn't taste like, it's not like an Impossible burger, you know? I mean, you can find the Beyond Meat is actually pretty good. And sometimes I'll order that actually. And they're great places where you can find a vegetarian burger that actually tastes like a real burger. This one is not that. Like, this one is its own creation that has its own unique taste. It's really interesting in the smoky flavor. So that'd be a cool one to give a try.
You also mentioned the Woodmont Grill's veggie burger.
Yes. Woodmont Grill has a really good veggie burger. It's made with rice, beans, and prunes and sheened in a sweet soy sauce. And it's a really singular thing, imitated but never quite replicated. And it comes with some really good skinny fries. So that's another great veggie burger to check out.
So you guys, what I love about this list is it includes everything from the burgers that happen to be on the menu at otherwise high-end or non-burger oriented restaurants, like the Salt Line, a New England seafood joint, has a burger that made your list. And you go all the way to things like in former gas station luncheonettes, and have plenty of places that are like chefy spin-offs of restaurants that are burger focused, like Joya. What did you not include in your survey? Like you mentioned Shake Shack or Five Guys. These are chains, but they're chains that are thought of as places that are of a significant, like higher quality than Burger King.
Yeah, I mean, we always like to put an emphasis on local independent restaurants, right? Like, people know what McDonald's tastes like. People know, for the most part, what Shake Shack tastes like. You don't need us to put it on a list. So I think we think about it as maybe like we thought about the list as maybe as just a step above that classic fast food burger, although there are places on this list that are more or less fast food, but more, local independent operators doing interesting things. So yeah, but that's not to say, like I said, Shake Shack is still one of my favorite burgers, and I will still be eating Shake Shack. I think it's great. And McDonald's. My kids love McDonald's, so yeah, we're hitting the drive-thru, I'm not going to lie.
No reason to. Before I let you go, we got to talk about sides for a minute. You guys made a side of quality sides on your list. What are some of the standouts in your mind?
Yes, some fancy, obviously fries, right? So we've got some fancy French fries from Bourbon Steak that come with an array of dipping sauces. If you love fried pickles, I know there's, chips versus spears, where do you land kind of thing. But if you're on the team spears, head to tune in. What else do we have? Onion rings. I mentioned Melt Gourmet cheeseburgers being one of my favorite burger places in the region. They have excellent onion rings. To me, the key with the onion ring is when you bite into it, your teeth have to go all the way through. Like, you don't want the onion hanging out.
I hate that.
You want a clean bite.
That's a crime against the entire onion ring eating community.
Exactly. So they do that really well. And it comes with an unusual topping or dipper, I guess, which is like a reduced sweet balsamic.
I've always liked one of the ones on your list, which is the pickled jalapenos and yogurt dip at Buck's on Connecticut Avenue.
Yeah, Buck's Fishing and Camping. Yep, that's another one. Just basically anything and everything fried.
All right, so let me ask you one last question. You've been covering the restaurant and food industry in Washington for a long time. Are we in like a golden age of burgers in the DC area? Are we how does this compare to other periods since you started doing this and or in the ancient history before you did?
No, I think there's something very recession core about burgers, right? Because you put a burger on the menu and people will order it. It's just no matter what kind of restaurant you are, burgers always do well. And in these uncertain times, I think restaurants will appreciate that kind of stability and customers appreciate comfort food. So I think burgers are definitely in right now. And I think we're gonna keep saying burgers on every menu.
During your reporting on this, did you see anything that has made you change how you're going to handle it at the Sidman Backyard Grill or in your own kitchen?
Oh, yeah. So we actually also got some tips from chefs on how to prepare a great burger at home. And one trick that I didn't know that I learned from Rock Harper. First of all, he says, if you're not doing it on a grill, like if you're doing it in your kitchen, definitely do it on a cast iron because it really retains that heat and you want it to actually sear the meat, not just simmer there. But he said, if you're melting cheese on top, add an ice cube or a little bit of water in the pan and cover it, and then the cheese will melt really quickly. So I'm going to try that out next time I make burgers.
And I will too. Let's have you back soon. We can compare what kind of success we had.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you.
Hey, before we go, I want to give a big shout out to our newest CityCast DC neighbor, Clifford M. Welcome to the neighborhood. In just a second, we've got District Bridges' Anna Claire Walker here with CityCast's Annie Reese to tell us about Art All Night, which starts tomorrow, September 12th. And it's hosted by our sponsor, District Bridges. You are not going to want to miss it.
Hi, I'm Annie Reese here with Anna Claire Walker from District Bridges. Hi, Anna Claire.
Hi, Annie. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being here. So, Art All Night. Can you briefly describe what Art All Night is and has been over the last few years that you've done it?
Yeah, Art All Night is one of my favorite events that the city puts on. It's in all 8 wards. It's a festival that goes across 2 days, and until the wee hours of the morning, we're celebrating art in all of its forms. There's music, dancing, photography, painting, aerial arts, celebrating DC's culture of go-go. There's really something for everyone, and each neighborhood kind of makes it their own and celebrates what DC's art and culture scene means to them.
That's really neat. Art All Night has become such a beloved tradition in DC. Tell me more about this year's Art All Night in particular. What can people expect in each of the neighborhoods that District Bridges is supporting?
So District Bridges puts on Art All Night in 5 different neighborhoods: Logan Circle, U Street, Cleveland Park, Lower Georgia Avenue, and Mount Pleasant. Each one is a little bit different. Cleveland Park and Mount Pleasant are on Friday night, and Lower Georgia Avenue, Logan Circle, and U Street are on Saturday night. In the past, we have had a go-go truck on U Street, aerial dancers going across the street, theater performers, roaming, improvisers, live painters, and then, of course, our small businesses go all out with drink specials, entertainment, live music, all of that fun stuff. This year, things are feeling different as we plan the event. There's a lot of uncertainty. Some businesses have backed out saying, my staff and my entertainers don't feel safe. So as an organization, we're really trying to figure out how to navigate where DC is in this moment and how to honor the tradition and excitement that this event brings to the city. So it's a delicate situation to be in, and we're just staying in touch with our community partners and our small businesses to see, what we can do to put this event on safely and still provide an opportunity for DC to come together, because there is a group of people that want to do that right now. There's a lot of power in community organization and coming together to celebrate what DC means to us. But at the same time, we want people to be safe, and we don't want to assume that things that have worked in the past are going to work this year. So it's in process.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point to make, that we're obviously living in a moment where things are changing really rapidly and it's hard to anticipate how things will be. District Bridges works closely with local businesses, artists, and residents year round, as you said. And I know that you're really in conversation with all of those people. And so, just speak a bit more, I guess, about how you balance keeping each event unique while still connected to the larger citywide celebration and how you respond to a moment like this.
The different managers of the different programs, they're really invested in those communities and they know what is special about each neighborhood. And so for the Cleveland Park one, last year they had a Cabinet of Curiosities kind of theme, and they had playing with the Art Deco architecture in the neighborhood, and they had a snake charmer and tarot cards and some really, really eccentric street performers, which were really fun. For U Street, it's all about go-go and the history of nightlife and jazz in the city. And Logan Circle is normally focused on our LGBTQ plus businesses. Last year we had a drag show. There are some local businesses in the Logan Circle area doing some art pop-ups that are focused on queer artists in the neighborhood. So each neighborhood kind of takes its niche and adds to the beautiful tapestry that is Art All Night. As I said, things are still in flux, but we're still hoping to put on a really high-level festival for the community. Another part of the District Bridges Art All Night that is unique is that we have our community navigation program in Ward 1. So yes, we support the small businesses, but our team of staff also supports our neighbors in the community that are experiencing housing insecurity or substance abuse disorder. And they also help out our neighbors who are in need of certain immigration documents and things like that. So as you can imagine, that's a very poignant program right now. So we've been collecting Metro cards and donations to that program. So they'll be present at Art All Night as well to answer questions and to get folks in the community involved with their program. So while we're celebrating art and we're celebrating the small businesses, our community navigation program will also be there to kind of raise awareness for what they're doing on the ground to try to keep our neighbors in need safe.
Well, Anna Claire, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. It's always great to be on CityCast.
It's always great to have you. Again, you can check out districtbridges.org to learn more. We'll have that link for you in our show notes as well, so you'll be just a click away. Thanks for listening.
That is all for today here on CityCast DC. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. And don't forget, you can support the show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast neighbor. Just visit membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.